Thank you for meeting with First National Channel. And
pleasure.
We're meeting today after good news from IMF. How do you think? How does it help Ukraine?
I think it helps Ukraine in terms of building the confidence of both domestic and international financiers in the country, that the IMF and the government has agreed on a new set of parameters and program of continued reforms in the country. And the international community, not just the IMF itself, but other IFIs and bilateral institutions will be tagging on to this program to support Ukraine to come out of the present financial and economic difficulties it is facing. So in that sense, it is extremely important.
How sufficient is the amount that IMF gives to Ukraine?
It is always difficult to put an exact number to the needs because the economy is a evolving, living thing, if you like. The most important thing is this confidence element and the initial room for the government to implement certain measures, to take certain actions in the financial sector, to get that system back to functioning again. So in that sense, together with the additional support that will come from the IFIs and the bilaterals, I think it is a strong enough a program.
All it can about the investment climate, but it could be nullified with the war on the East.
I don't think it will be nullified, no. I mean, it impacts, as I said, of course, but it is just a part of the country. It is a contained region, contained line of confrontation there, but here in Kiev, in the west, in the northwest, I think investors, while very wary of that, will continue to conduct their business and invest as their businesses necessitate.
And as an institution, what are the areas that you think are the most attractive for investments in Ukraine? Mr. Soros said that agriculture is #1 area. What do you think?
Well, for us too. I mean, we've always said that agriculture is the sector that will help pull Ukraine out of its economic stagnation that it's facing now. But we're not just talking about primary production here. I think what we need to focus increasingly on is the value-added spectrum of agriculture, i.e. processing, packaging, logistics, and ultimately bringing up to the ultimate consumers, be it in Ukraine, be it in Europe, be it in elsewhere, that the Ukrainian agricultural products are offered for the ultimate consumption. Of course, in addition to that, I would add the information technology and engineering capacity of this country. As we know, there are many companies in the outsourcing and internet technology front that are servicing the entire world from Ukraine, and many are actually investors from abroad as well. So that's one area. Logistics I see as a very important investment area, as when you look at the map of Ukraine and on the Black Sea, east, west, north, south, there's a tremendous potential in logistics investments. And of course, on the back of these things will come the manufacturing services.
What are the things that the Ukrainian government needs to do in agricultural sector in order to help investors to come to Ukraine?
Well, first and foremost is to listen to them, and this government is doing that. I mean, we have at the EBRD a number of conferences where we're bringing policymakers with investors together. We're hoping to have one in the very near future, probably by the end of March or so, and we're hoping the Prime Minister himself will bless that and will be listening at first hand to those investors. Second, of course, you need to eliminate these unnecessary distortions. And I think we heard today that some of the restrictions or procedures relating to moving the agricultural commodities from one end of the country to another are being eliminated. broader reduction in the red tape for enterprises to set up the function are being reduced. The procurement rules are being clarified so that you don't have non-market transactions taking place. And of course, we need to invest, and EBRD is at the forefront of supporting that, is in the logistics capacity to move the agricultural products to export points. And in that regard, we've invested near Odessa, in Odessa last year, a major port project for 50 million. Just yesterday, we approved another project in Odessa for cleaning and drying agricultural products. And we will look at other logistical support investments, be it in storage, be it in moving agricultural products. Those things need to happen.
Could you develop a little bit on more your plans in Ukraine? What are you going to invest in? You mentioned logistics, but what are the other projects?
Well, we invest across the spectrum. We invest a lot in infrastructure as well. And this is power and energy utilities in terms of either generation of electricity or transmission of electricity, generation of renewable energy, in particular wind, biomass, biogas. We invest in last year, you have seen at the end of the year, 150 million euro financing for the gas transit system, Naftagaz, to improve the reliability of the system and enhance the capacity for reverse gas flow. We will hope to support, top that up this year with working capital support for Naftagaz. We will do what we can in supporting upstream investments. In the transportation sector, we would look to work with the Ukrainian railways to improve their capacity, to upgrade their cars. We work in the municipal sector to continue to improve energy efficiency in a variety of municipalities. We're doing that.
What is the sum that you're going to spend next year?
If you're going to talk about the sum, I would say that last year our president has talked about a 5 billion euro program over the next 4 to 5 years. And I would say also that we done 1.2 billion in 2014. So we will continue on this path of doing those kind of numbers, but we are very much driven by investor appetite. And that's why in the beginning of this discussion, we talked about the importance of the IMF program and the continued progress on the reform path.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.